Why yes, I am the winner of Dark Souls 3 tournament in November. Yeah, it took me quite a while to release this video. But before we're gonna jump into the tourney, let me explain you what is that even all about. As we read on the challenge page, this tournament was made to allow newer players the opportunity to compete and get a feel for the comp scene. And what that means is people who participated in the tournament have no history of competitive play in Dark Souls 3 at the very least. I'm firstly going to show you my first 3 rounds and semifinals, and then I am going to call the commentators of the tournament to talk over the losers brackets finals, which was probably the best match of the whole tournament. Then we are going to talk over the finals. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. In the first match I have faced EU gamer called Polex. I was quite nervous considering it is my first Dark Souls 3 competitive experience, so my very first round was not that great. I made a lot of mistakes, but ultimately I won. Just before the another round, I have decided to calm down as much as it is only possible. I focused on exploiting mistakes of my opponent and ultimately I won. The another match goes against Joby, a good friend of mine from the times of Dark Souls 2. Joby is mouse and keyboard player, which is kind of scary due to the fact she decided to bring X-Bow, which is quite powerful tool in Dark Souls 3. And mouse and keyboard players simply have a little bit easier time managing this type of setup. That being said, I had the Black Knight shield, which essentially is kind of a counter, and partially because of that, I managed to win this match. On to tournament round 3, I meet the B-Bird, person that I had the worst latency to, and because of that I have swapped to the dual spears. Before the tournament I was advised that it is basically the best setup on the high latency. Then on the second round of the match I have decided to swap to more classical setup, but ultimately what is important is that I have managed to win. And then onto the semifinals. With Shuroi, that was essentially considered a winner before the tournament even started, just because of her insane amount of experience with the game. She has like more than 2000 hours overall, but where my advantage lies in is tournament experience. That didn't help. I got bodied 3-1 for her, so yeah, GGWP, very fun fight. Because of this loss, I have dropped to the losers bracket finals against Steel Dash, that was presenting stellar performance across the whole tournament, but in very unique way. He was essentially exploiting lack of the game knowledge of the participants, mostly utilizing setups that you need to have certain experience to deal with, and as a person that is very doo-doo at Dark Souls 3, I had quite a hard time dealing with it. But hey, let's make the call with tournament commentators and yeah, let's review the matches, shall we? Do you guys still remember the tournament itself? And
No.
okay,
Deleted out of my mind. You
really?
wouldn't believe how
I-
much I started drinking after the tournament was over.
Immediately taking that center is generally speaking the best idea, and we see the swapper himself.
The Steel Dash swaps.
Dude, I was so terrified of approaching this weapon because I do not have experience with fighting poise weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, that's a big part as well that we talked about with new players, that they struggle against poise weapons.
yeah,
they
this
won't
is
catch.
definitely a thing. It's
Yep.
definitely like proper spacing around the poise weapons is ultimately a kind of what that's called, the knowledge check. But yeah, like I'm basically at 0 HP here.
And you're
Good on
still
you
clawing the
keeping,
flag.
yeah, gotta keep attaching into that shield. That was good on you. But honestly, after like the initial damage of the greatsword, that took 2/3 of your HP. I mean, yeah.
The second round he's starting with another fucking huge weapon. And then swapping to this shit. Like, and he,
Just what's better than one bit weapon? Two.
like, I didn't know how to even approach it because, like, oh, and he's fat rolling, so but yeah, he turns back and just fucking slaps me in the face. It's like the guy is Balik. He is not scared of anything whatsoever, just
Very funny. Now, in all fairness, we were joking. I'm not sure if this was on the live stream or not. That he's switching to weapons that you would have left the game before they were
this is actually
before they were
true.
introduced.
Yeah, because those are like all DLC weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any experience against Ring Knight there? Because I saw you rolled it very well.
I have a little bit. When I was preparing to the tournament, I had pleasure to learn how to roll through it, and
All
that's
right.
about it. But I think like even in this match, I'm gonna end up in a situation that I'm just gonna get caught by it, and I think like looking at that offhand of his, I think I know what is going to happen in this round, and I am not very happy about it because yeah, look at that.
Oof. You even tried dead handling
Yeah,
it, though, so good on you.
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, it's I am aware what was going to happen. It just the tangle was like very
Oh, and the
unfortunate.
perseverance, L1
Yeah.
spam. Damn.
Like I will say about Steel Dash, like the crazy swapper is one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen in a tournament. It is incredible
Yeah, and
that he managed to get away with it for so long as well. It was pretty funny.
I knew like the parry is coming, so I just turned it back. Fuck it, I'm not getting parried by that. But look, like he's rolling out and he is freaking attacking immediately. It's so funny. Like he's truly ballsy. I think like he's way more ballsy in Dark Souls 3 than he was in Elden Ring. Again, at least in my experience, because I had pleasure to fight plenty of tournaments against him.
Steel Dash, Elden Ring, you see, you have so much damage. At this, without like parries or like very high burst, which most tournaments don't really have, you're forced sometimes to be really aggressive if the other person isn't really attacking, and it's the wrong option, and you can pay for it really badly. But like you're managing this really, really well all the way through here. Like you're adapting to the movesets. You're giving him a little bit of space every now and again because you don't know what he's going to do. Like this is a difficult person to fight because they don't have any real rhyme or reason to what they're doing.
This is actually very true. Like Steel Dash is just a pile of randomness. Like, you know, all these fucking attacks and so on. Like they don't really have pattern. Or at least I haven't seen the patterns until later.
That was nice.
Well, now the question is,
Oh,
am
this
I
is a
going
close
to
one.
finish that one match at least?
Now it comes.
All right.
Draw.
Okay, so like this match was even longer than I remembered. I didn't remember the draw. And these fucking huge ass swords again, man.
Nick, how did you find approaching hyper armor in DS3? Did you kind of like, was it just the fact that I can't just swing with impunity, or was it difficult?
I found it stalling. Very, very game stalling, basically. Like it requires, I would say it is great pick if you are an experienced player, like just using the weapons with the hyper armor on. It allows you to sometimes attack even mindlessly and just catch like people off guard that are just not that experienced with the game. And yeah, it's good noob pick, I think, like to play this type of weapons. The more experienced you are, it seems like the weapons that do not have hyper armor are a little bit better overall.
Good seeing you had priority out of that trade.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
All right, but yeah, this is essentially 3-0 right now, like considering the draw, and the match is BO9, so I have to win whole 5 runs and not lose another 2.
I remember after the tournament you talked about.
Nice backswing.
Yeah, you talked about like you were delighted that it was longer sets because it gave you more time to kind of adapt to what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, this match would be already over if it would be BO5, yeah. So, literally, the fact, like, it was BO9 allowed me to ultimately win the tournament, yeah.
I mean,
But
really
yeah.
going for the safer option. Yeah, there's no.
Oh,
What the
Oh.
fuck?
There was illegal ring equipped.
All right, Steel
Steel
Dash equipped the Sun Princess ring in this match. In this match, it kind of shows that you've more figured him out, or I don't know how to put it, but you're punishing like the weapon, the hyper armor, really well.
I just felt throughout this whole match against Poise weapons is that like I just don't really have much opportunities to aggress whatsoever, and yeah, like it's like Steel Dash basically had like a priority all the time, and then I had like very small windows where I could potentially just punish for overextending, and it felt very not nice, and that felt like very upsetting. Yeah, like right here, even though like I blocked the attack, I thought like, oh, maybe he doesn't have enough poise, yeah, and because of that like I can just R1, but now he had, and this is every time you are
they always have enough hyper armor in Dark Souls 3 pretty much.
I see.
It's hard to interrupt the hyper armor unless you're using another hyper armor weapon that's even bigger.
But yeah, like it's definitely that my feeling during the match was that like it was very fucking upsetting competitive experience, because the playstyle presented by Steel Dash is like it was full awareness on my side that it is on me that I cannot punish these weapons. I am like, for example, not patient enough and so on. It's rather than just like him like playing fucking incredibly well with them, and it was super annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's like if you're getting knowledge checked repeatedly, especially in competitive setting, it can be very frustrating, because like you're having to learn in real time, plus turning nerves, plus pressure, what on earth is going on, and fair dues to you. You actually managed to like get through it really nicely, and once you had the turning point of you just realizing you had to play careful, you're seeing here like the consequences of that. Like,
yeah,
I think, yeah, I don't remember this match. Oh, like, okay, here you go,
Oh
Enda.
There
no,
we
not the
go.
off start.
Right.
awful.
Yeah, brother.
This is probably the match you lose.
Well, quick swap back. I think I heard you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Notice the losing strategy of off start.
That's very unfortunate what happened here. This running attack definitely wasn't intended. I wanted just turn and burn, but yeah, something like that. Yeah, but just didn't work.
So like generally the strategy with Greatsword, once your opponent has figured out that they can just roll it and punish any mistakes, is to try and push them into a corner and then swap to something faster. Which Steel Dash isn't doing, so that's probably why he swapped off here, because he noticed that you're no longer just attacking into the Greatsword at the wrong time, so he can punish you with hyper armor.
And Legandir? Oh no, it wasn't. It was a plow. Never mind.
Yeah, I cannot use the Gandir on this build.
Did anyone take it out sleep? I can't remember. I don't think so.
Didn't Steel Dash the undercharge
I
at
think
like
it-
1 HP?
I mean, what didn't Steel Dash do?
That's true. That's true. It's hard to name a weapon he didn't use. Okay. Nice one. Yeah.
I remember he just swapped, but like he was using the washing pole before, and I remember that back in the days when I was playing this game, washing pole was actually one of the best weapons in the game. It was.
That's no longer the case now.
It was like the running attacks were like way faster, and I am not sure about damage, but definitely it was like a insanely good weapon for the sake of running attacks. It was just super oppressive. But yeah, like that being said, that length on the washing pole like still was kind of upsetting here in this match from that what I see. It was like yet another the situation when my opponent can somewhat aggress and just I cannot really do much besides just waiting and like, since just playing defensively is probably like one of the best strategies that you can do in this game. It's just it is not that great of an experience for the most part, not gonna lie.
Well, the spacing in Dark Souls 3 is a bit different, because your whole aim is to use to set up for baits and to whiff punish and kind of push the other person into a corner where you can get guaranteed damage, because everything is pretty reactable. It was interesting in this tournament that like because no one's really comfortable against all of the setups, it's and there you go, yeah. Oh, I thought that would have put him away. Goddamn. Harry.
I will say against this washing pole, you should have blocked a lot more, especially those running attacks if you were uncertain about them. And you can also kind of strafe it to the right and get around the running attack and thereby get some free damage in if it misses.
I figured out that like because of Nagakiba's longer animation on the regular attacks, I can just probably block it and then just mash R1 with the straight sword. It seems to work somehow. That's so unfortunate. I thought I'm gonna get back here. And yeah, like this is yet another situation where I am basically, that's how I lose this match.
Like, it is always funny to me. It's like when 90% of what we do like revolves around like really high level play. So it's interesting to see like someone who is really solid fundamentals. Yeah, that was gorgeous, and then he's put away. Rip. Someone who's really solid fundamentals and can like play that fantastic spacing game.
Yeah.
And then it's just completely like has a not like a bad matchup even on paper, but just has like a mentally bad matchup because they don't know it. It's very, very interesting.
And now, finally, onto the finals. Alright, I guess we are starting. What is that thing that she just used?
Green Blossom, it increases your stamina regen.
I see.
Which in a sword and board mirror can be pretty useful, just because you are going to be trying to go for you're trying to pressure an awful lot and put the other person into the corner.
Pretty much everyone uses it at the start of a fight, just extra regen for free. The bike pellets are also valuable, but they're kind of underused.
A lot of passiveness, most likely, in this game. Definitely.
You're getting pushed into the corner a little bit here. I don't know if it's if you're a little bit nervous against Shiroi, but I also noticed you weren't pressuring her when she was in the corner at the beginning of the match.
Maybe there was like a other reason. You can look it up.
Nice.
The roll catch as well, yeah. Good running.
I let off the...
Ooh, the rolling is scary, yeah. Oh, nice finish.
Did you think about punishing the tiers with an E-bolt?
Yes, of course. Just my skills with this setup are just not good enough to do that. And yeah, I thought like it's better to just keep that one additional bolt because we were limited to 6 bolts. For like finishing the opponent rather than just shooting in blind and losing potentially the bolt for free.
Was it a good idea at the end of that match really to go for those trades at the start? That's something that I always wonder about. It's like, is it really worth risking those kind of prolonged exchanges that I could win or... Oh no!
Yep.
Yeah.
There one moment.
I mean, free damage though. Oh, nice one.
At last.
Going for those trades at the beginning, I mean, you gotta figure out, am I winning these trades, right? And by how much? And then also, how, like, because when both of you are low HP, you're, like, adding to the risks, right? So if you're more confident with using E-bolts and stuff, then yeah, bring your opponent to low HP, right? And then, like, gain more of an advantage from that. But if you're not really that confident, then I mean, you should still bring them to low HP to increase the risk, and therefore, like, you could get lucky. But I mean, you might also just want to rely on your fundamentals.
I mean, given your performance so far, like, you're pretty consistent. Your spacing is just a little bit better. Your pressure is a little bit better. That's gorgeous. Like, for you, it might be worth doing it more, but it does make the risk because now only one or two exchanges change it.
You're turning the game into Elden Ring with the TTK in the process. She tried to pay back here. Unfortunate running attack.
Get spacing on the running.
And then that's it, yeah.
Nice. But the reason why you're using Dart here is, well, it has higher AR than Lightning, which is what Black Knight Shield is weakest to, but it also has still decent chip against Black Knight Shields.
Yeah, I mean, like my
Compared to
idea
Fighter.
was chip damage. Yeah, here
Yeah.
I could have attacked here apparently. Unfortunate.
There is also like an argument that most armors have lower dart defense. That's kind of true, but like most players nowadays optimize to have decent dart.
But yeah, and we are talking about defense of 1% most likely. So
Yeah.
like this is kind
And
of
like because people know that they often like up their dart defense, right? Or absorption, sorry.
so yeah, like it's, effective damage is basically the same. So yeah, like in my case it was all about the chip damage.
Same reason why you go for the Knight's Crossbow there. Like, it's just so useful to have that extra little bit of pressure at range. Even if you're pretty limited in what you could do, that was unfortunate.
Corner, and
Out
yeah,
of stam though.
unfortunately. Like, if I would be better player at Dark Souls 3, I would jump into that corner and just, like, try to hit her with the bomb. That would be definitely the play in my case.
Well, really, you'd probably
I mean-
stay just out of distance. And,
Yeah,
wait
again,
for her
like,
to
just-
try and get out.
But yeah, this round most likely gonna be lost in that case.
But you have 2 more to lose, so unless you're cheating,
2 more to lose, yeah. Sounds great.
we're so nice to poor
We
Steve
put
here.
money on this match. You have to throw 2 more rounds.
At some point, I have received very good tip from Kame, which is to not do the classic Elden Ring moment and just do not change the direction of the sprint deathmatch. Just hold the shield up. But I think it wasn't here yet. I think it was only at the essentially last match of the finals.
Like, you've really good options. Like, the short sword
Nice
and
and
board
short.
is like fantastic that you can block. You can use it for block cancels. Like, there's a bunch of stuff you can use that shield for, and you have really nice dead angles there. The idea was sound, just not quite able to connect.
Good on you for seeing to not like attack into that attack there, where she could have performed the second R1.
I'm messing like my range basically. You know, I am not really used to the range in this game.
I think really in these last 2 matches is that you're cornering yourself a lot, which, yeah, you get punished for with big damage. Because Shiroi definitely knows how to punish those corners.
I mean, she has like a 3k hours, yeah, this game. Isn't
Something
it?
around those hours, yeah.
So yeah, like she definitely fundamentally supposed to be at least way better player than I am.
Now, how many thousand hours she did spend trying to do full armor swaps against the Drake Blood is a very different question.
All that just to fail a swap in the tournament and lose a round because of it.
Oh yeah, we actually going to see that one too. Also, in the next set, I guess.
Got him, yeah, and there you go.
Nice one, yeah.
And this is where it ends. This match at least.
And then we're starting then the reset,
I
the
guess.
bracket reset.
I guess we can go over it just because of the parry. To be honest,
Gotta see that one.
it might be the round.
Unprepared.
The round, yeah, because
And then just, yeah.
I have 3-0 advantage, I think.
And like dealing with tournament fatigue as well is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
You said you were exhausted by the end of the tournament. Like, and I can kind of see it. Everything's a little bit more sluggish.
I mean, still though, holding up great for having done constant fights for, what did you say, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it was apparently 2.5 hours of the constant fights according to recording.
Yeah, and 7 hours in, so.
Oh.
And then
So unfortunate.
And she went out of the bounds. And yeah, that's about it. I have won my 100 euros and I had very memorable experience that I am absolutely not going to repeat. Because I dropped to the losers bracket in the semifinals, I basically had 5 matches one after another. I got to admit, it was an experience. A great one though, just not the one that I want to repeat anytime soon, not gonna lie. Well, GG's to everyone. Thank you a lot for watching, and I see you in the another one. Bye!